When it comes to putting, there are two errors that I see amateur golfers making more than any other, and yet these mistakes are so simple you wouldn't even consider that you could be making a mistake so basic, but I see at least one of these errors pop up in almost every single putting lesson that I teach. Therefore, the likelihood is that you're making at least one of these mistakes as well. Today I'm going to share with you what these errors are, how to fix them, and if you take the time to practice these very simple drills, you'll be able to transform your putting and take it to a completely new level. The first mistake I see is that golfers don't set up with the golf ball in the center of the putter face. Despite having alignment aids and tools that should allow this to be quite straightforward, so many golfers actually set up with the ball slightly towards the toe. First of all, the reason that's not a good thing is it causes problems in terms of strike location on the putter face, and that has an impact on the energy transfer that you put into the ball. Speed control becomes very problematic, and you also get some directional issues as well. The reason I think this happens as much as it does is that from a player's perspective here, looking down at the golf ball, I'm putting the ball in the center of the putter face that I can visibly see, because some of the putter face is obscured by the putter shaft. So as I look down at my putter here, I can see that the ball looks to be more or less in the center of the amount of the putter head I can visibly see. And in fact, if I take the time to be vigilant and diligent and really position this golf ball right into the center of this putter head, as I look down now, it almost looks to me like the ball's closer to the heel of the putter, again for the same reason. It's closer to the heel of the putter in terms of the amount of putter face that I can visibly see. So the error that I see more than any other on the putting green is golfers setting up to the ball like this, striking the ball off the wrong part of the putter face, getting putter face twist, getting varying degrees of energy transfer into the ball, and struggle not only with direction, but as I mentioned before, speed control as well. So if you want to ensure you're not making this very common and basic error, then simply set up a practice station where you position two tee pegs either side of the putter head. This putter gate drill is a very old drill, one that's been around forever, and yet the benefits can still be felt today. Tiger Woods used to practice like this a lot, where he would position two tee pegs and practice moving the putter through the tees. Doing so will not only begin to improve the strike location on the putter face, which is already something I've mentioned as being a good thing, you'll find you get other benefits as well from this exercise, moving the putter on a better path, a better arc. Controlling the face of the putter becomes easier if you're moving the sweet spot in this nice arc. And if you do strike the tee, you're going to get the feedback of making that mistake. If you've not tried this before, start without the ball there. Just place the tee pegs a little bit wider than your putter head and try to move the putter through the tee pegs a few times to get a sense of how to manage that club head in space. And then once you're ready, you can introduce the ball. You can also do this indoors. If you're not able to push tee pegs into the ground, I found that coffee mugs or glasses can really help you. Just place them either side, and that can act in exactly the same way if you're practicing your putting indoors. So now I can set this up, make sure the ball's in the center of the tee pegs, and go ahead and execute the putt. You'll notice as I'm doing this that I'm not putting to any particular target right now, and I would encourage you to think about doing that yourself when you're just working on these mechanical improvements, this technical improvement that you're trying to make. Make it about getting the sweet spot of the putter head through the gate more than worrying about exactly where the ball finishes, because as soon as you introduce a hole to the equation, you begin to get more interested in whether or not the ball goes in. It becomes more difficult to change this pattern. So consider not putting to any particular target to begin with, and just work on the mechanical technical piece that we're talking about here, setting up to the ball right in the center of the putter head, and then learning to strike the ball out of the center of the putter as well. The other good thing about not putting to a target or not having a specific target out in front of you is that you can just work on different lengths of stroke for this exercise as well, to see how well you manage the control of this putter face on different length strokes. It's probably easier for you to move this putter head through the tees on a small swing, a short putt, and it may become more difficult as you try to hit the ball further. Having the tees in place as a constant and not having a direct target out in front of you will allow you to experiment with shorter strokes and longer strokes and see if you're still able to manage the sweet spot control of your putter. I promise you that if you spend just 5 minutes a day working on this skill, it will take your putting to a completely new level. And the second biggest mistake I see, which is probably even more common than the first one I've just discussed with you, is the ability, or more accurately, the inability of a golfer to hold their finish with the putter. The best golfers you'll see strike the ball, hold their body posture and their finish, and just turn their head to watch the ball travel. Nothing else has moved, the putter has stayed very stable. Contrast that with a poor putter and you'll see a lot more movement, unwanted and unnecessary movement. Once they hit the ball, there'll be a lot of body movement, the head will come up. That'll result in twisting of the face, which will give us some mishits. It will result in poor contact, as we've already discussed. Just simply learning to hold your finish with your putting stroke can do absolute wonders for it and increase the level of consistency and quality that you get from your putts. And you may well be saying to yourself, well, that sounds easy enough to do, I'll just go ahead and do it. Well, go and give it a try. Go and see how easy you find it just to hit your putts and hold your finish, your body position stable, the putter head stable, just until the ball rolls out. You may be surprised to find that's much more difficult than you would likely think it should be. I find that all the time when asking someone to complete this task, it becomes far more difficult for them to execute than you'd ever consider. Yet the benefits of learning to hold your finish are multiple. Better strike location on the face, better distance control, greater feedback from every single putt you hit in terms of how well it was struck and how fast the ball came off the putter face. If there's one thing that you should be checking on whether or not you're doing in your putting stroke, it's whether or not you're able to hold your finish. Once you've hit the putt, you'll want to just learn that the rotation of your head on your neck is the only thing that should be moving in order for you to track the ball's journey. Any other movement at that point is unwanted and unnecessary. And now that you're aware of this phenomenon, you won't be able to stop seeing it, I promise you. When you're playing with your friends, you'll notice in your flight how some players move around a lot and can't hold on to the putter at the end of the stroke. You won't be able to stop seeing it. Pay attention to how people do this. You'll see that the best players, the best putters, hold their finish far more than the poorest putters. And the best example of this is just to watch how the pros do it. Every time they hit, they hold, and they just rotate their head to watch the journey of the ball. If you can introduce that to your putting, I absolutely assure you that the level of quality and consistency of your putting will go through the roof. You will take your putting to a level that you've never experienced before. Those are two very basic but very necessary skills that you should be looking to develop if you want to improve your putting. If you found the video useful today, I'd really appreciate you hitting the like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. If you'd like to continue your putting education, I've got 2 more videos for you that you might want to check out right now. The first one is about the grip, how you should hold the putter and which grip type is best for you. And if you'd like to learn the most important skill in putting, which really is distance control, then you should go and check out this video next.